And Dummy Switch Pod. It's the
Yep.
week. It's the week we've all been waiting for.
It's the big week. It's a big week.
Test match week. We've been dreaming about it. We've been wishing for it. The week is finally here.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that excitement is. You can see it on Twitter. You can see it on Instagram. It's just a pity we can't feel it in the stadiums.
Ish, man, that's the only letdown about this whole series, is that we can't be there. That's the only thing. But the hype is there. The hype is real, man.
But nonetheless, one thing we did get that we didn't think we were going to get was an extra test, or fourth test match, which we got last week.
Yeah.
In the SAA versus Boks, the real Bok A team. And I think we saw from the beginning, Boks, big hits, just more physical. Just all around, just a better team.
Yeah. Look, in that game, I couldn't help but feel, maybe it was just me, but it just felt like the Boks were just holding the Lions at arm's length, and that's a team that was operating in gear 2, 3 at times, but not even above that, and they still managed to beat those guys up, especially in that first half. And for me, that was promising, because they have this edge and this calmness about them that SAA team that is more like it was a Bok team. There's that calmness and this edge about them that, look, I'm optimistic about this side. I thoroughly enjoyed that game, particularly the physicality that the SAA team brought. It's like a continuation of 2019. It's like that's we know who we are. That's our DNA, and that's what we're going to do. And we do it the best.
Yeah, they were more physical. They were just, for me, playing territory. I know you had mentioned dominating territory was key last week. It was going to be one of the takeaways that you had last week bringing into this one. Play territory better, kicking much better, physical. Yeah. Even when they were, there were hiccups in the lineouts and what have you, but they managed to make the best of that. I think it even led to one of the tries, but just. I can't say anything more, but they're just an all-round better team. The reffing was a bit despicable. Those 2 yellows back to back.
Yeah, look.
I think it's become, as week in, week out, we've just seen it happen with these refs.
Yeah, it's just not clear, man, in terms of what it is that they're looking for. Because, I mean, we saw, for example, the Faf de Klerk yellow card. Easily, there could have been 2-3 yellow cards to the British and Irish Lions players if you actually looked at some of the hits where guys were being hit around the neck, head area, with the contact, let me say, because that's what they say, right, is the shoulder contact. That's where contact was being made. And that goes unnoticed, unpunished. But then, Faf's one, for me, that was debatable. It was debatable. Number one is that he's trying to wrap. He's trying to hit on the chest sort of area of the ball carrier, and then what happens is that he actually hits the arm of the ball carrier, and in that same movement, the arm of the supporting, the elbow of the supporting player, or supporting Lions player, hits Faf on the head before he makes head contact with him, and it's like you could have, there was a penalty more for the Springboks there than for the Lions, but then credit to the defensive spirit,
I think when you talk about them being in second gear, I think that's when they showed full gears. That's when guys were, they had to show peak performance.
Yeah.
Someone that did struggle besides, that first half being almost excellent, besides the yellow card, was Nyakani. He kept going down on the loose head side, And I think, as we go into the second SAA game, I think we're going to have to discuss that a bit. Loose head seems to be a problem.
Yeah, it looks like it is a problem. I think yes, he was struggling. Maybe Dweba early jitters, from wearing the green and gold for the first time at the senior level from a lineout perspective. But then he quickly corrected himself, and I felt he didn't do himself a disservice.
Yeah, he's had a bit tough. He's had a bit of a tough go at it. Even looking at the next game for them, it's difficult to put it all on him because he hasn't got that practice, hasn't got that timing.
Yeah, exactly. And new guys, new environment as well, But then speaking about Trevor, I think, we definitely have a bit of an issue where it does, because I think even Kitsov to some degree that also struggle at Lucid against the Lions, then Trevor as well. It is just a bit 50-50. It just looks like, we haven't found the synergy at scrum time, that synergy that we had. And maybe it's a result of Matt Proudfoot no longer being there as the forwards coach. Maybe he was able to help them quickly find that synergy and that power and that drive. So it's one maybe to keep an eye on. I don't think we can panic just as yet, because you don't just become a bad scrummager overnight. But it's something
you can. We've seen it before. You can definitely. But I think what's happened is they've reverted back to that Georgia front row, which held up better than what you could consider from the other two. Moving on to second half, just changes. I think first half was where the guys made their money. Second half, I think, was just sort of seeing it out until could get 15 players on the field. Other than that, not really much to say. Willemse, again, impressive cameo. I think his form, his stocks are rising. And especially because, it seems like he's contesting the jersey of Francois Steyn, who's not really a guy you want to be contesting a jersey with.
Yeah, true. And interestingly, it's at 12, and I think we've had this chat before on the show about, where potentially Damien Willemse could actually, find his niche, find his home and do well. And he's been doing well in the inside center position coming on. He's got the physicality, so you don't necessarily lose too much, compared to Dialenda. The other difference qualities that he brings is that he's just from an attacking point of view, he's more of that. He has the potential rather to be more of a distributor than Dialende, So I'm happy for him, in that he's, change of environment and look at what he's doing. He's really hitting the right notes at the moment.
Yeah, other than that, I think, there's just that Reece Zammit double movement. I think it was a double movement. I think he struggled. Yeah. He struggled. I think there was a bit of a realization that these aren't Six Nations wingers. He's seeing the best of the best, what he's seeing there. Cheslin Colby, we haven't even spoken about it because it's just become, something that he's done. Just lined him up and cooked the man. It's just something he does.
I know you put him in a hot pot of boiling water there. You took him to school, man. The way he beat the man, and the presence of mind to get that offload. It's Cheslin Colby. I saw somewhere on social media they say he's the Messi of rugby. And I can't disagree, because
I don't like the comparison. Maybe it's because I'm not a Messi fan, but I'd have to delve deeper into my index of players for better comparison.
Yeah, okay. Look, I can agree with you there, but look, in terms of greatness, we can understand that
he's a Thierry Henry. I'd say he's more a Thierry Henry. The way he lined him up, set his shoulders straight, finessed him. I'd say that's more Thierry Henry than Messi.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that because Terry used to be a Ghana, so and that's my team. I shouldn't have said that, but yeah. Anyway, the other thing that, like, for me that I wanted to, or the other player that I noted, and I felt he did pretty well, is Springbok. Yeah. And he's one of the players where we even said last week on the show that he's got to show more, and I felt in that game, that SA game, he really did show more of his qualities. Yeah. You saw his work off the ball.
He fired a warning shot and then he let one off. Dialendi with a nice, supporting defensive line. A basketball screen. Just let the man. I mean, very clever.
Clever and good work rate, good knowledge of what the awareness of what was going on and what could potentially happen, from the cross-cover defenders, but also just good awareness for him to, number one, get that ball out early, and then number two, just stay alive, not just back off. But I felt Nkosi, he showed all his qualities, and he's showing more of what I was calling for as well. You saw him on the ground, his work rate on the ground. Defensively, one thing I can say is that his reads seem to have improved, because whenever he did, I think maybe just once where he shot out the line and he didn't make the hit, but 90% of the time when he did shoot out, he made the hit. Breakdown, I think he won a turnover penalty over there. And there was a time where he was under pressure, kicking the 22, and he kicked that out, showing that, look, he's got those qualities. And it's what you want from your wingers, to be able to do all those things, because now you've got a youngster he's raising his game, and I'm happy to see that. That's what I was happy to see, from him, especially because, called him out, and it's like he was listening and he delivered, so hey, shout out.
Shout out, man. Other interesting things, the diffusion of the maul by the Lions, done so illegally a number of times. They were just swimming through the side. That's going to be another thing that I think needs to be monitored. Other interesting takes, Herschel Jantjies playing wing, and Jesse Creel finding his calling at 8th man. I think maybe he must just stay there.
Yeah, look, maybe he must stay there, because you saw even when he was on and he made his way back into the back line, there was a lot of times, there was so many bad reads from him that allowed the Lions space on the outside, where he could have, you put a different 13 there, and he's a guy that's, controlling the defensive line and making sure that, it's attackers are picked out, because, like you say, he may have found his calling, out in the loose forwards. And look, I'd have to second that, and give that even a rubber stamp to say, no, let's put him in. Let's see what he can do over there. Maybe he's a dark horse, because no. No.
Right now he's cover for Kwagga Smith. I think that's the idea going forward. I'm not, when Amos playing 13, I'm happy. When he's playing 13,
I'm not comfortable, because you're not comfortable. It takes you back when he's playing 13. It takes you back to
Japan,
an event. Yes, that's the one. I'm glad you said it. I wanted to put it nice, but it takes you back to Japan, 2015 World Cup. That's all that I see, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, no, no. No. But the other thing as well is the breakdown. You mentioned. I think, and these are the points that we spoke about, in the last episode, is set piece, and we touched on the scrums where, you feel we should be a bit concerned, what's happening in the front row.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the Lions being able to sort of stop our maul, albeit illegally, but then I feel in the breakdown, we managed them. We managed them pretty well in that breakdown. But what I'm sort of wary of is the fact that we compared to when we have a guy like Dwayne there as an example, we're not able to get our hands on the ball, turnover ball, as often as we would or he would when he's playing, because the one time where a forward actually got there, like Marco van Staden in this example, which I felt he was, yes, he was the tackler, but if you look at it in the tackle, he actually does release the guy. He gives the guy the opportunity and he gets back on the ball and he gets a yellow card. Team warning, understand, but I don't think that was a yellow card. I felt that was a fair turnover because it stopped them. So we manage them, yes, but I think that's still a place where we need to be wary. I'm definitely wary there.
I mean, Sia was hitting the rucks against Georgia, so I'm not as worried. I think he adds the different dimension there, so I'm not as worried. Let's move on to next Lions game, Stormers versus Lions. This one, I'm tired of these. I'm tired of these exhibition matches. Like I've had enough.
Look, the first maybe 30 minutes, you're thinking to yourself, okay, Stormers maybe the Cape Gods are on their side, today because it was close, man. It was tight, It had that feel that, okay, anything can happen. And then they just fell away, Then they just fell away. And I think the main issue there, it's one thing that we've been saying is they don't have guys that get them over. Russ was doing his utmost best, from eighth man. But other than that, the ball carrying from Stormers was just nowhere. That's for me, that's the difference, is that in that first half when they had possession and they had a good start in the game from a momentum perspective, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't carry the ball over the advantage line. They couldn't maul them properly. It was difficult to watch. Even the back line where there was no creativity, my man.
Exactly. I mean, they got forward momentum. I think they got a line out, and then Sweel passes it to the grass on the edge of the 22. Just die. This is the guy that guys are saying must be called up to the box squad. I'm sorry.
No,
he's not the one.
You know what's worse for me is that for once you thought that, okay, maybe these guys are going to get the shackles off because it's a nothing to lose game. It's a nothing to lose game. It's just you playing for pride, showcase your skills. And
Evan Rose's his agent was on the phone the whole game, just seeing if there's contracts from overseas. That was his agent was making moves the whole time.
He was on the phone saying, "Are you watching my guy? Are you watching my guy? Look at him. Look at everybody else. Look at him. He's the guy, and he is. Evan Rose, for me, I take my hat off to him because he's consistent. But you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. The only other player as well that you could see was
you're gonna mention who I think you're gonna mention
is our man Sergio Peterson.
Yes, that's the man. That's the man right there. I respect number one. I respect the mustache choice. I really respect it. Old school. There's a lot of uncles in the community who are proud of him, but he was taking control of the situation.
Yeah,
he was really up for it, playing 15, always getting involved, always hitting the line. I think he might have said, okay, there's Kalant, there's Willemse. Yeah. These are guys that are playing 15, but when he takes it up, he's looking more assured than both of them at the minute.
Yeah, more assured is more lethal. He's got that quality, and you can see why he was once close to getting a Springbok call-up, and even during that game, there's a moment where I thought to myself, okay, if I'm looking at the squad, based on the way that he played and accounted for himself in that Lions game, I thought, was there a place for him in the Springbok squad in place of, one, Aphelele Fassi, two, Roscoe Speckman? I'll tell you why. Look, I'm a big Aphelele Fassi fan, super, super big Aphelele Fassi fan. I feel he's good, but at test level, based on what I've seen, for example, in the Bulls game when the SA played, especially when he was carrying that ball back, a lot of the times he's just too predictable in terms of his step. He's not.
This is the same problem you have with Blommetjies.
Yeah, it's the predictability, because you want, if your fullback is going to take that ball, is going to run it back, run it back with some sort of purpose instead of taking too much time and telegraphing your step, because it's the same step, and he was being read as an example. So that's when I thought that, okay, from an attacking point of view, just solely from an attacking point of view, intensity point of view, and even work rate, is that maybe Sejil is actually, maybe he does deserve a bit of a look in based on the way that he performed on Saturday.
I'm just happy. I'm just happy that, his form has gotten better.
Yes.
Looking at when he got cooked by Rabs, it seems a long way from those weeks ago. So I don't know if it's a function of him playing 15, moving from the wing, or I don't know if he's just getting match fit because, another guy that's also in and out with injuries, but we'll see. Yeah,
but you'll see, and there's no doubting he's a quality player. So look, it's just a question. I'm not saying that, it's cast in stone, but just based on that performance and the way he accounted for himself, look, it's worth a mention. It's worth a mention, because if certain guys can make the squad, or maybe in place of Jesse Creel, to say, no, let's do a swap. Jesse must give up his position because Sejil is doing the goods, is doing the business. But
yeah, another guy on the day. I think I also have to mention Edel van der Merwe. He makes his money by being hard to tackle. He's a slippery character.
Yeah, he showed.
Yeah.
He showed. He wasn't. He was also up for the challenge. I feel like, that back three, bar one. That back three, bar one guy who I will not mention, but if you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. So they showed, like you say, he's hard to tackle, and he was looking for the ball, looking for work, and that's what you want to see. And he tried. He was putting in the effort. That's one thing that you can say. But overall, it was bad. Remember, there's this one play, where they were trying to get into the 22 of the Lions. And they were running these lines, just these funny lines that they were running, from behind the shoulder, and the ball wasn't. And I was like, no. I was like, wait a minute, these guys. I was like, who's the attack coach? Because
those guys, they're playing touch at practice. That's what they're doing. They're playing touch. Joan de Jong. It was good to see Joan de Jong back. Wasn't on fire, but I mean. We'll see what happens. He should show class in the rest of the Currie Cup, him being a Bok. Let's get to other Currie Cup games. Lions hosting Griquas. Just short one or two things on this one. I think it's good to see Pelser playing with Sangweni for a change instead of, one for the other. Sangweni playing 6. Chituka gets a rest.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. That man he's put in his shift.
Yeah.
Stian Pienaar, he's back. For another winger that also we won't talk about gets replaced. Griqua side, Ashlon Davids returning to his old home in good form. And Keita, I'm sure we're going to see Keita again. He's on his mission to get a bus ticket out. So we'll see what he pulls out the bag this time.
Hey, that man is fighting hard. He's making noise. He's banging on drums. He's kicking down doors. He's saying, look, however you can get me a donkey, get me a horse. I need to get out of here.
He's the last guy on the bus. At the hotel when they have to look for him to get on the bus. He's the last man. He's hiding in the room, trying to stay whatever city it is. He's trying to stay there, but he's trying to get out of Kimberley. Other game, Cheetahs versus Western Province. We'll see if Province can continue their form. I mean, they didn't show the Lions respect in that first 20, which was good. So we'll see if they bring that same kind of attitude in.
Yeah.
Only thing that sticks out for me, Ngome Zulu on the bench. He's under 20. That's sort of highly rated. I think he's at 10. So Sweel, we're warning you. Watch your back.
No, he's on notice. He knows. He knows. I rate that kid, Sasha Ngomezulu. I think I saw him when he was still playing at Bishops, and you thought, okay, he can play, And then even for the under-20s in the recent under-20 series against Uruguay, Georgia, Argentina, look, he's a real talent, And look, I'm just hoping that he can just unseat Tim Steele, and just own the position. When he gets the chance, let's just grab it and make it hard.
Stovers need to put an ad out in, I don't know which newspaper, but they need a number 9. Guys, please. They need a number 9.
But I've been saying, though, Connors, last week you're defending our guy. What's his name? Is it Phillips or what's his name?
Oh, Paul de Vet.
Paul de Vet, not Phillips. You're defending him, saying, look, yes, he's a good player, solid, but I think now you're starting to come around as well to see that no. They need to open some applications here because, there's
plenty of guys. There's plenty of guys. Papier, there's plenty of guys on the fringe there.
Yeah.
So, I think Papier injured. So we got to see Johannes for a bit. He landed up lighting things up in the next one. SAA versus the Bulls, the real SAA, not the fake SAA. This one confirmed the day before, so I mean we can all go on about the result and say Jake White this and that, but in reality it was confirmed a day before. So I mean even your visitors give you more notice when they're coming to your house. They give you more notice than what the SAA was given. So I'm not going to be too rough on these guys.
Not at all.
We saw I mean even Fez Mbata, when did he get called up and already involved? I think Lowe is even worse because he had to take a flight down. So, I mean, we saw these guys already involved. A lot of chopping and changing in the front row. I think that's what worried me more than Nyakani struggling, is the way that he chopped and changed in this one.
Yes. And also the struggles at scrum time, because that's effectively, look, it's not so much about the result, but that's effectively where the Bulls sort of started finding their confidence,
Sorry, SAA, they held on for about 15 minutes. And then the Bulls set piece started showing why these guys train together every week, not this week. We met in the car park.
Yeah, no, true, and credit to the Bulls, full money. They got the renegade, Johan Goossen. Everyone in France was probably throwing wine at the TV when they saw him. Throwing their cheese at the TV, thinking, no, this guy, he did us dirty racing and whatever. But look, he's still a good player. He's still a good player, and I feel on the day he grew into that game more.
Yeah.
And I was a bit, I was slightly disappointed, and it's hard to say, but I was slightly disappointed with Alton because he was the captain on the day. I understand, yes, it was put together last minute and all of that, but I just felt from a control perspective, it just didn't seem like we had that control. And yes, I understand it starts up front.
But what I want to say is, if you put Pollard in the same position, you're going to get worse. You're going to get worse because Pollard, my issue with Pollard is he doesn't have an effect on the game. He doesn't have, it's essentially the 9. We play more of 9. 9 is the guy that's more involved. So his responsibilities, playing with a pack that the Boks have, playing with centers that the Boks, playing with wings.
Yeah.
His responsibility, I think he gets away with a lot. And I think we put a lot on Jantjies to do the things that an old school fly half, the old school fly half would do. But we're not expecting the same things from Pollies.
Yeah, I hear you. And that's a fair point. And completely agree. I can take that, but at the same time, I still stand firm on the thing that, I felt from a decision-making point of view as captain, I felt he got it spot on because he did he made sure, got into the positions to actually to get results, and it didn't come off with the forwards. My issue is with the ball that we got, maybe it wasn't as great quality ball, is that we didn't do more from it, and it just felt like he wasn't marshalling, the guys. I'm not saying that he was bad on the day. I just felt like there was an opportunity for him to do more marshalling of the guys, to say, okay, look, this is getting scrappy, because to be honest, it was scrappy, to say, okay, look, this is getting scrappy. Let's not do this. Let's just give the ball to the back line and we'll make it work, until you guys sort your stuff out. You must just clean the rucks. Or you understand what I mean that's where I'm coming from when I talk about the control aspect, because he was the captain on the day and he had more sort of.
But I think it's also because, if we look at when they did score their first try, it was from set piece. This is all rehearsed, and I think the group that they had, the more minutes that went on, the further they strayed away from what was taught at camp. So that's why I don't know. I'll give him some more leniency.
Yeah, look, like I said, not overly. It's just a mark, we just say, just be mindful,
Yeah, other things from this one. The front row for me, totally terrible. Currie Oosthuizen, he looks like he's lost some weight playing there at loose head. Not as impressive. They brought on Dutoy to play loose head, but Dutoy is playing tight head for the Sharks. So I don't know. Vincent Koch also, he didn't have one to remember. You had Polisiman and Matanzima. They were showing them up.
They were. And surprisingly so, considering that the bull scrum is the scrum that, we were talking about in Rainbow Cup, that, the Bulls, they need to have a look at the scrum. But look, they showed up, guys. And you can understand these guys, some of these guys are saying, hey, you're there, I should be there, and that's what it was. I think from a front row perspective, I felt Volkolo you saw his quality. I rate him as a scrummager, like there at number 3, just as a tank of a man. And I think he's shown in the in what do they call it, the English Championship. He's shown that he's worth the money. So
there's guys like that. I mean, I class him sort of in the same bracket as, let's say, Carl Usadi, where these guys, they're of that tight head build and they get the job done. But if you want other things, don't worry about other things. If you're gonna worry, you must worry about that thing. I agree. But the other one is that Van Rensburg, the lock. I felt he didn't give a bad account of himself. I was super impressed with the way that he was playing as well. Like he's hungry. You can see he's got that desire. He wants to be an enforcer. He wants to be a mainstay. You can see it there. But for me, others, like where it's just like, no, I don't want to say flops of the season, but based on the anticipation, and the hype, and I've also hyped him up as well as Jasper Wiese. I felt, they've figured him out, and he just, there's nothing different that he brings, other than that physical ball carrying, so. Yeah, but it was just a hit out. So not too concerned about the results, but just these things that you pick up. Similani, he got over for a try, also involved in build-up. Unfortunate yellow card for him. Speckman as well, getting involved where he can. It's unfortunate, it's unfortunate though, like those guys got released back to their unions, and for some of them, you just feel like they, it's sort of what could have been if the tour was the way it was supposed to be, and they got the proper shot, proper shot at the lines, then maybe some of them wouldn't be going home. I don't know. For me, I felt like Fassi was the only standout from this one. Bulls. The only thing I have to say about the Bulls was, for sort of 80% of that game, they couldn't buy a try. It was just knock-ons. They would set everything up until that final point. Nothing real else to say. But I mean, it is good win for them. They were clinical when it mattered. Yeah,
true. And they continue their dominance at Loftus. It's funny. But you have to you credit them. You credit the fight. Take the fact that it is SA, whatever. The fact of the matter is that they still had to play. They still had to go and win. They still had to, battle through, execute, and get it right. And they did. And it was, look, credit to them. And yes, I agree with you. Fassi, I felt he did play well. It's just, my only issue is just the predictability of his returns when he takes the ball back. That's really the only thing. Otherwise, we've seen him before when he takes it back with more purpose, how more often than not he usually breaks the line, or he's able to get an offload away, and just didn't see that. Maybe in his mind it was like, it's just the Bulls, I don't know, but he played well. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, let's talk about the big one. We don't care about the other team sheets, doesn't matter. No, but so we'll just talk about the box. We got the front row that played Georgia. The only Nyakani is, you say you don't forget how to scrummage overnight. I'm here to tell you do. There's patches. It's like a goal scorer when you're just not hitting the back of the net. It's just you've got to. There'll be a moment where he gets to turn it around, but hopefully it's in the first test. Same basic forwards. Not much to say. Kolisi back. Kwagga Smith starting at 8. Faf de Klerk, Pollard, DLND, we know the story. Yeah. And Mapimpi's back. On the bench, only surprises. Herschel Janchis, he gets a look in. I feel Reinach, I feel forces it a bit. He tries to do a bit too much. He looks like a guy. He looks desperate when he's playing. And it's not a good desperation. It's not a good desperation.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
It doesn't look. It just and that's where the mistakes come from with him, or just those little errors. So I completely agree.
And then it's what I said last week. They're not playing Elton because they know what he gives them. They know what he gives them, and he's gonna be on the bench for that first test. I won't lie, I did think maybe they were leaning towards Monet Steyn, and then only other sort of surprise coming into this one that I don't think any of us would have predicted pre-Box joining up is Willemse covering majority of the positions there. Him instead of Francois Steyn. Better form than Steyn, and I think I don't know. I don't want to say it, but Steyn, maybe his time has come.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think looking at that team, the starting 15, somewhat, we know what you get. It's good to see Kwacha is getting a fair crack, being somebody that was part of the World Cup team, and he's getting a fair crack. I think his job is going to be more to try to get his hands on that ball on the ground. I think he's the prime guy to do that for us. Ox, I want to see something from him, same as Trevor, just that front row. I think just the whole pack, and then, we know what the rest of the guys can do. And then the bench, I think Reinhard Alstedt for me is a sensible selection.
Yeah, I forgot that one, yeah.
I think that's a sensible selection. He's coming back from a winning season in France. He's confident, and you even saw in that SAA game against the Bulls. You can see he's
up for it.
He's a physical presence. Herschel.
He's looking for a fight.
I know he is. I saw him. He was pushed some Bulls guy that was on the floor, moved his leg, and just I was like, hey, my man. It's not a test yet, but he showed he's there, he can enforce, and the nice thing about him, he can cover. I think he can cover 6 and 7, possibly even 8 as well, so there's cover there. And Alton, I'll give it to you. You called it. They know what they're getting from him, so you called it. That's. I can't question that decision. And I feel like in this team synergy environment, I feel like he's better. Sometimes you're as good as the people around you, at the time. So maybe I think even in this particular 23 environment, I think he'll shine through. And Willemse, you said it. Hey, he's the dark horse. In all of this, he's looking like the dark horse. He's looking like the guy that can potentially kick a drop goal out of the blue. Same with Colby and Pollard. But Willemse, he's looking like a guy that can pull up, a crazy sidestep and offload. He's been on form. So I don't have any problems with this team. We expected more or more or less the same from our continuity, and this is what we're getting. But we'll have to see what the result. I think the result is going to determine what happens going forward in the second and third test. But test number 1, no, we should win it by 8 points.
I'm going a good 5. I'll go a good 5. I think it's also where we're gonna see how closely the Lions played, against SAA to, what's the game plan here. And I think because we've all been sitting here saying this is not really what they're gonna do. This is not really how they're gonna play. This is not really gonna be their team. We'll see now how close it is to the real thing, because we gave them a taste of the real thing last week and they couldn't handle it. So
Yeah, they really couldn't. They needed us to be down to 13 men before they could sort of build momentum and try to get on the score sheet. And even then, I think the one thing that we know for sure that they will try and do is to play quickly. You know, I think that's one thing just my sort of, this is just my view and guess that maybe because we know Warren Gatland with Wales, if you look at Wales and even if you saw, you know, they play similar to how we play, the suffocating type of game with the kicking game, the chasing and the physicality. I think he's going to try incorporate a bit of that, but also incorporate the New Zealand tempo, if that makes it. Because don't forget, he's been like the past season, he was at the Chiefs, you know, even though they were struggling, but, you know, it's that he was back in that environment of tempo play. So I feel he is going to try and implement some of those tactics into that to try and catch us off guard. But I think our guys are too sharp.
Yeah, that's the thing. And for me, the thing is, you look at the Springbok side, and there's just ballers all around. There's no, you know, there's been times where you're looking at a test match and you're looking at the team sheet and you're saying, hey, this guy, is he gonna hold up? Like, you know, there's those weaknesses where you identify in your own team. And I think looking at this box squad, there's too many dynamic players. There's too many guys that are just too good. If you look at British and Irish Lions, there's players where you do see more weakness. There's like, I'm a fan of Bandiaki. On this tour, he looks, a lot of these guys look worn. They look worn. They look one-dimensional. They don't look like dynamic players. They don't look like world beaters. There's not many guys. There's not much. Fine, they went on a rampage midweek games, but it doesn't look like there's much in the way of, you know, real game breakers throughout.
From a test match perspective, I completely agree with you. You know, I feel like we have too much. It doesn't matter who they put out, man for man in that whole British and Irish Lions squad. You know, you can't say there's in each position there's a player that's better than the guys that we have. You know, maybe fullback. You know, maybe. And I'm saying that only because I feel like Willie hasn't hit his straps yet, you know, so that's why I'm saying maybe fullback, but nah, I don't see it. I really don't see it, you know, and I feel we will be justified by the result this weekend. I just don't see it. I think they're confident.
I hope so.
The Lions, I think, look, the Lions are definitely confident and they feel that they've seen enough and they've had a test of that SAA game midweek. So they feel that, I know, this is how physical they are, you know. But I don't think they understand that, you know, the Boks are going to take it to the next level. You know, there's lots of motivation. There's looting motivation. There's going to be an ethnic mobilization on Saturday. You know, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be an ethnic mobilization. It's the South Africans against the British. You know, that's what it is. You know, that's what it is. It's a war.
It's a war. Any closing comments, Chris?
Well, outside, I think I've said too much. You know, once I've said after I said ethnic mobilization, I was like, yo, hey. It's going to be a rough week. Rough week.
Looking forward to it. Dummy Switch Pod. Out.